Before we move on, can I just say something on the very, very slim chance that Garron is hearing our voices right now?
Mm.
Don't let the fuckers get you down. Just do your work. You're a good musician. You're fucking funny, and you're honest and pure, and that's something important that we need in this world. So get back up on that fucking horse. Don't listen to them. I'm your host, Howard, and over there is your host, Morgan.
Hello. I feel like a retard. Hello. Hello, boys and girls. How are you? Hey, Gary. That little crown on your head is still
Oh,
it's still disturbing me. Like it's perfectly placed now as well. Like so, the
you're
King of
all
Ireland.
on.
It doesn't matter where you sit because there's 3 crowns. So it's like
Oh.
there you go. Yeah, quite the week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we should start with Gareth or Garron. What's his fucking name?
Garron.
Garron. Yeah, I thought his name was Garron. I don't think I've ever heard of anyone else by the name.
Yeah, that's a weird one, right? Can we get his take on his name first, so
Yeah.
that we, respect him? All right, here we go.
So I get a lot of questions about my unusual name. Now, I've answered this before, but people keep asking. So this is how my name is pronounced, and it is my real name. It's Garron Noone, not fucking Garron Noone. Garron. I'm not fucking French. I've had it up to my tits with people calling me Garron, making me sound like some sort of a posh wanker. You've been told now, if you do it again, I'll ignore you. And yeah, my surname is Noone, not Noone. It's not some sort of an edgy stage name. So where does the name come from? A Garron is a small, sturdy horse or pony and generally refers to an undersized beast. Now, obviously, I am an absolute fucking unit, so it wasn't picked based on this. So Elvis had a twin brother that died at birth, and his name was Jesse Garron. Now, I think they wanted to call me Jesse originally, but apparently when I came out, I just looked so unique and gorgeous, they wanted to call me Garron. So there it is. I won't be answering this again. Follow me. I'm delicious.
His sign off: "Follow me, I'm delicious." Yeah.
Yeah, we were having a little chat before we come on,
Uh-huh.
and
Yeah.
you mentioned that I didn't like him
From the
and,
beginning,
from
yeah.
the beginning, and I'll be honest, I didn't. He's funny. He's
Mhm.
his videos are great, and he is a good comedian. But I just had this intuition that like he's a fucking lily-livered flake, and again, because of the stuff he wouldn't touch or wouldn't talk about, and inferences around certain issues, but he's been thrown into the mix. So there's now a tug of war going on for what's it, Garron?
Garron.
Garron. There's a tug of war for Garron, like between the fucking the far right and the far left. The far left have disowned them altogether because I still can't figure out what, because he said there might be a problem with immigration into Ireland, and like everyone else, or the vast majority of people in Ireland, is like, well, it's not that I don't like foreigners, and they all should be welcome here as long as they work like slaves and pay taxes. I have no problem if there's 20 million of them here. I don't really, but I do. But I'm just not at that stage where I can't bring myself to openly admit it, either in polite company, and especially not with a large social media following. So I'm going to dip my toe in the water and see what happens. And all his fans ask them, like, so what do you think about Conor McGregor's comments in the United States? And we'll get around to that. We'll probably be talking about that for 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah.
But yeah, the left have fucking piled onto this poor chap, suffocated him almost, and he's gone into hiding.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that he's going to come out of hiding. He's going to kind of pedal back. He's going to make one of those awful apologies where he didn't mean to offend anybody, and if he has offended anybody, he'd like to apologize, usually, but he welcomes all refugees into the country, and He's not saying, you know, the usual horseshit, and then he'll go back onto the Late Late Show. Tank says he was on the Late Late Show. He was. You've lost all my respect there immediately if you go on to the Late Late Show. And he is, unfortunately, an entertainer. I think we could be loosely classed as entertainers, but I know, yeah, right. But entertainers and actors, per se, are, you know, let's be honest, they're fucking prostitutes. Like, they are prostitutes. They were in the same class in good old Roman times. They were in the same class as prostitutes. You know, prostitutes, entertainers, and gladiators of all people were all in the same class, and they were roundly looked down upon by the elites in the ruling class. And we have a problem with the elite and the ruling class, but that's not to say that they weren't correct in a lot of their thought.
I think so.
Yeah. Especially with actors, we know they're whores. They'll say whatever the fuck they're told to say. But even with the right, I don't think they want Garron as a spokesman or to come into the fold. Just happy that, you know, the guy said something mild. That yes, there may well be an issue with immigration.
Oh wow!
Everyone knows there is an issue. Sorry, you're going to say something? No, your stream is.
We're having a lag situation.
All
Sorry.
right, you're back there. Fuck. Yeah, we're having internet issues. Hers gone choppy.
All right.
Oh, we seem to be back there. Okay,
lovely. Huh.
Yeah. So I was saying, yeah, I know. Fuck it. So yeah, the left just seem to be having a meltdown. They've rounded on the guy. I don't know if he's cancelled. I don't know. I can imagine that there may have been a concerted effort for leftist groups to inundate TikTok and Instagram, whatever platforms he's on, with complaints about, you know, racism and all this kind of horseshit. Or he could have panicked. He could have just said, like, fuck this. I don't need to deal with this at all. I believe the guy suffered from anxiety. If he didn't, then he certainly fucking does now. So he may have just goes, right, I'm pulling the accounts, waiting for this to blow over. I don't think it is going to blow over because it's been taken up as a fucking hobby horse with people on the left and the right to beat each other with, you know. But everyone I can see on the right is pretty much saying, okay, well, you know, over here we value free speech. You're allowed to speak and say whatever it is that's on your mind, be it however tame or mild, where those on the extreme left, let's call it, he's out of the cult. He didn't follow the script. He's gone off course, so therefore he must be expelled, ridiculed, and the people on the left are taking a fucking hammering online as well because of this, and rightly so, because it's fucking disgusting.
Bullying, yeah,
it's worse than bullying. Like, these people would, you know, shoot you up against the wall, given half the chance. Like, it's disgusting. Like, and these so-called people of virtue and kindness and empathy and, you know, the loving people, the enlightened ones, are willing to, you know, pillory this fat fuck for just saying something that everybody knows is true, which is there's a problem in Ireland with illegal immigration. It's going to take him another 15 years before he mentions legal immigration. Let's be fair, like, so. But at this stage, it's the giant elephant in the room, and it's a good thing now that, you know, somebody as beloved as Garron, like, if you're on the Late Late Show, if you've been placed onto the Late Late Show in Ireland, you know, you're pretty much the safest bet there is out there for the regime. But if we find out in the future that he has been invited back onto the Late Late Show, I think we can only assume that it's to issue a nationwide apology. But I hope,
yeah, sure,
yeah, I hope and pray he just comes back and just doesn't even really address it. It just goes, yeah, it was what it was. Let's carry on. And if he has cancelled himself, Well, then he's a big faggot. Like, he just needs to get on with it. Like, just, fuck these people. Like, what can they do to you, really? Like, if you're going to allow them to silence you for what? All his fans have been asking him, like, can you comment on this? Can you comment on this? And he has. So, but he needs to come back and address it, because he can't just hide in the shadows and say nothing.
Well, I look. I don't share your cynicism. That's a very cynical take, I have to say, and it shows because first of all, you're saying he should just come back and just pretend like nothing happened. I agree, that's a great thing to do, because it's a power play. But now you're saying he needs to address it. It's almost like this guy, he went out there and he said what he believes. It might not be perfect in our eyes, but he took that step, and he should have been aware that this is going to get spicy if he does say these things and he does press that upload button and publish. So I just think he deserves a little more trust. Like I get being cynical of the likes of Trump and I don't know who else it might be. They come onto the stage and they say, "Yeah, I'm going to change the world. Get behind me." And you say, "Oh, I don't know what's the catch." But this guy just fucking said his opinion, and he showed his humanity by running away when he was faced with being called a racist all day. He's not promising us anything. I think that's worth a bit of the benefit of the doubt, let's say.
Yeah, well, all I'm questioning is, if he will come back and, roll back on the genteel remarks he made. And if he doesn't, great, fair play. I was wrong. I've no problem with that at all. But let's listen to what he actually said. That would be useful. So we can see.
Yes.
And what how it might be all qualified, and let's have a listen to what the man actually said.
Yeah. One sec there. It's so weird. Do you see the way it did that 3-panel thing and I didn't want it to? I mean, it's cool, but how do I undo that?
You need to get rid of Garron. Then what do you want? Just the full? Let's just go to the full screen of Garron. There we go.
Okay. Whoa, buddy. Okay.
See,
we're trying to do things at the same time, and
okay,
here we go. Right. Oh shit! I snorted. All right. Let's wait. Where are we going? Oh fuck's sake!
It's okay. We don't need to be there. We'll focus on Garron for the minute. Garrett.
Right.
Hagrid.
Okay.
Whatever it's
So Conor McGregor was in the White House the other day. I have been inundated with messages to talk about this. Now, I get asked for my opinion on these kind of serious topics all the time. I don't know why the fuck people care, because I just shouted cups of tea on the internet. Now, the reason that I prefer not to make videos about this sort of shit is because I don't think it's fucking useful. The entire story of the world is being told in poorly researched headlines and 40-second fucking TikTok clips, and it is making people fucking nuts. For me to talk about this in a way that's even approaching being useful, I need to spend 25 minutes talking about Conor McGregor the person. I need to spend 40 minutes talking about immigration in Ireland. I need to spend 40 minutes talking about the fucking economy in Ireland. I need to spend an hour and a half talking about our fucking government. Now, my opinion on Conor McGregor is irrelevant, but I don't think he's a good person. I don't think it's particularly hard to find evidence of that. But it doesn't surprise me in the least to see a lot of people agreeing with what he was saying. There absolutely is an immigration issue in Ireland. That doesn't mean that people feel like we shouldn't take the refugees that we're able to take. It doesn't mean that people feel like people shouldn't be able to come here for better opportunities. But the systems that we have in place are being taken advantage of. And that is plain to see. And the government continually does not allow people to express their concerns about that. Along with this, Ireland continues to become one of the richest countries in the world, while most people's quality of life is going down. Our towns, and especially our cities, are becoming much less safe. Now, that's not just because of immigration. There's a lot of factors to that. But if you can't see that that's happening, then you have not left your house. Communities all over Ireland are concerned, and their concerns are continuously not being heard. And when you continuously suppress what people are feeling, you turn them towards more extreme beliefs, you increase their distrust in the government, and you push people towards racism and extremism. Now, no doubt, a lot of people in the comments are going to completely misconstrue what I've said here, but that's the internet for you. Anyway, stay delicious.
All right.
Okay.
That's that. Thoughts?
Yeah, it's fairly reasoned. Like, there's not a lot to disagree with. But the only thing that's kind of irking me at the moment with all this, and again, it's linked to Conor McGregor. Like, everybody prefaces it with, I know he's not a good person, but I agree with him, right? So everybody's distancing themselves from Conor McGregor because apparently he's the devil incarnate. Because what? Really? Like, what terrible thing has he done? Like, so. So hang on, calm down, calm down. If everybody's going to be honest now, like, so, you know, we've had fucking Conor McGregor in full glare of the media for fucking 10 years, right? 10 fucking years. So, you know, everybody else in their fucking home and away from the glare, like, has done nothing wrong ever. Like, you know, so this is it, maybe a case of let he who has not sinned throw the first fucking stone here. So what terrible things has he done, right? He punched some dude in the face in a pub, some older dude, because he refused.
An old man.
Yeah, he refused to drink. Okay, so he punched an old man. Like, yeah, is it a nice thing to do? No. People are like, oh my God, this is the worst man on the fucking planet. Like, he's worse than Hitler and Mao. Like, he punched an old dude in the fucking head in the pub. Has anyone ever been to a pub in Ireland?
We were talking about Garron. We'll get to all this.
Like, it's hard not to drift into McGregor. Yeah, so So with Garron, again, I like, there's nothing he's really said that's can be taken as controversial, really. So
you'd think,
yeah. So I don't really fucking get it. But what he said, like, essentially, like you said, he pretty much knows what he was doing. So he knew by answering the question that it was going to cause a lot of pushback from people on. I don't even know I don't know how to classify people anymore. The left, the right, the middle, the up, the down. Like, how anyone could be upset by that is a mystery to me. Again, unless you just have it in your head that anybody who criticizes anything to do with immigration is, you know, a far right Nazi, toxic male scumbag. And for me, it's horseshit. And really, these people need to be, you know, probably punched in the forehead on sight, because that's what we're dealing with. You can't argue, you can't ration, you can't reason with these people. I'm not even sure if they're fucking real, to be honest. But they're in full support of the current regime as well, which is, you know, how could you look yourself in the mirror and be happy with yourself that, you know, oh yes, you're a radical leftist or a radical progressive person, but yet you walk fucking hand in hand, step by step, with the current government that you supposedly hate. It baffles me. Like, it's a sickness of the mind, as far as I can tell.
Like, like a cognitive dissonance, even you could call it. I think these people are real. When I shared a house, I had this guy come in, and he was just the most, you know, those third level educated guys who, like, they don't have a family and they don't really have anything like going on really. They are into fucking planting trees and shit and Tinder. You know, and great, you know, try to find a woman. I mean, if your intentions are good, plant trees, absolutely. But, you know, it just screams of a certain personality. And he spent quite a long time trying to dismantle me in debate he's already made his mind up that since I have questions about immigration, then I must be evil. So he's going to drill down in this kind of a one-man struggle session, you know.
Yeah.
And I think these people are real. Here we have Reddit posts on the Garron Noone situation. Some gems in here. How are these people real? Here's one. Ireland had a lot more people once. How are immigrants the problem? I don't know if we want to read any of these, but the titles alone are fucking gold. Ireland isn't getting more unsafe.
Okay, what was the first one again? Sorry, go back to the first one.
Ireland had a lot more people once. How are immigrants the problem?
Oh yeah, man, that's good logic right there. Like, and that's nothing new. That's rolled out every fucking week, isn't it? That we have to get back to pre-famine levels, don't we? We have to get back up to a population of 8.5 million people, and to get back those fucking Africans and Moroccans that emigrated during the famine,
tens of thousands of years ago.
Yeah, how about we try and bring the 800 or so odd thousand people who've emigrated since 2008? Some of them I believe might want to come back if only they could afford a house and have a decent standard of living. But no, Indians are cheaper and far more available. I believe there's a sale on at the moment, like where if you buy one you get two free.
While he is effectively cancelled through death threats. What? Oh, what does this say? A lot is accurate other than the claim that people aren't allowed to express their concerns about it. That is nonsense. That's just, very garden variety ignorance. If you haven't been directly fucking censored by the machine, then you think, yeah, everyone can say whatever they like.
Yeah.
Here's another one. Someone with his platform spouting this kind of shite is dangerous.
Oh, wow.
Did he sound dangerous in that 2-minute clip?
No. Well, thoughts are dangerous, they can lead to other thoughts and eventually to actions. So if we control all thought everywhere at all times, well then, only then will we be truly safe. We need a thought lockdown. We need some sort of rule book or guidelines on what we can and can't talk about. We need a new department, the Ministry of Truth and Thought.
Community guidelines, like on YouTube. Yeah. Racism is in the blood. You either have it or you don't, and that's in response to pushing people towards racism.
All right. Blood-borne disease. Is it genetic? Is it?
Oh, interesting. It's your fault people are racist.
His fault, Garron.
Yeah,
Garron's
his fault. Yeah, his fault. Yeah.
No.
What systems are being abused? I pay my taxes.
Oh, good boy. Well done.
Yeah.
That's what nationhood is about. Paying your taxes. As long as you pay your taxes, come on in. Like, sure, it's a fucking Jesus Christ. Like, yeah, that's the important thing. Pay your taxes. Cool. Send me your name and address. You sound ripe for the takings. How about I come around to your house and demand 20% of your income? And if you don't, I will take you from your house, put you in a box somewhere for a couple of years, and then go to your house and steal shit to the value of the money just to pay me. But no, I don't have a mandate, so I can't. Wow. Yeah, I think it might be a cope on my behalf to say these people aren't real. They are real, and for the longest time, I had it in my mind that people on the who we can classify as radical progressives or leftists are pretty much harmless, but they're not. That's just a fantasy, they're not, and it's not confined to people on the left. Maybe the same amount of people on the right who I would imagine at this age would be quite happy to also put the people on the other side of the fence up against the wall and execute them, and probably not think twice about it. And Garrett seems to be the man in the middle who's at the moment is just saying, look, it's we should be able to talk about it, but we can't, you know. And most of us have been trying to for the longest fucking time. But like you said, for somebody who's that deep in, there's no real point because you know, you've got two people who are trying to convince the other party of how they're wrong all the time, and how to, you know, what the right think should be on either side, and it's just not going to happen. Both parties are so entrenched that it's the only real option left is for a war between the two parties. But again, I don't know how big these, you know, parties are, left
Yeah,
or right.
it's really hard to tell. The internet is a house of smoke and mirrors, you
Yeah.
know. But you know, when you see these, you know, pretty fucking sizable protests in Dublin or Newtown, Mount Kennedy, or what have you, like you're talking thousands of people, tens of thousands in Dublin. Are they all on the right? And you see protests, you know, for Palestine or something like that. Are they all on the left? You know, it's. I don't think it's that bad. I think there is these cores of agitators. You know.
Yeah, the problem for me is that it's you know, the government is, you know, essentially on the side of the left. Like, so, you know, there's no difference in messaging. But what's maddening is that the people on the hard left seem to think that the government isn't doing enough, or that they're somehow in opposition to government policy. Where I can't see, like, you know, other than the fact that the government won't bring in that legislation to stop trade with Israel, I can't see how the two are out of step with each other. You know,
Well, you know, it's like, oh, they're not building enough houses and then just giving them away for free. And oh, you know, so things we all have a problem with in this country, like, you know, fucking frivolous fucking expenditure for fucking bike sheds, you know. But that's the extent of it.
Yeah, I think then the big disconnect is it's around immigration, isn't it? It's like that. On one side, there's the argument, okay, well, Irish people should be housed first. And then the other side, well, that's racist. We have to house everybody because housing is a right for everybody. And it's essentially, you know, a globalist worldview versus a nationalist worldview. It's like, okay, on the one side, you still have people who are nationalists, consider themselves Ireland. And then you have people on the other side who consider that an old view. It's a retrograde, and now we're global citizens. And this idea of global citizenship has been in our education system for at least fucking 2 decades now, and all throughout third level education as well. It's it's all about global citizenship, and it's one world. The idea of national sovereignty is a thing of the past. We even had Micheál Martin stand up in the Dáil a long time ago, and essentially disassociate themselves, him and his party, with the old view of sovereignty and nationalism. The thing that actually got us to a stage where we had an independent country for, what was it, 2 or 3 weeks, whatever it was. Then, but no, we've done away with that, and now it's globalism and solidarity with Europe. That's where we're going. But back to Garron, it's going to be interesting to see what develops with this. And again, for a comedian, it's difficult. As soon as well, I suppose if you're a political comedian to begin with, it's great, because it's your bag, like. But for Garron, he's not a political comedian. He doesn't really comment on social issues in great detail, and he said that himself. Like, he really wants nothing to fucking do with it. But you can't help but be dragged into the conversation at this stage. And again, I can't see him coming out of it and then suddenly, he's going to become Lenny Bruce or Bill Hicks. But he's going to lose a big share of people who were on the left. And then I think if he doesn't naturally gravitate towards the right, he's going to lose that section of his fans. So I think he may be in a catch-22 situation, and the best thing for him really may be to stay quiet and hope it all just blows fucking over. But I think no matter what he does, he can't win. If he goes in any way against what he said, well, then he's going to be considered a sellout. And then if he doesn't apologize profusely, or say it was all some sort of misunderstanding, well, then again, for anyone who's left leading and pro immigration and open borders, well, then he's going to be considered a Nazi, which is mad. I was accused of being a Nazi the other day as well. I thought it was great. Like, it's been a while since someone openly called me a Nazi, but they did. They likened me to Hitler and Trump, which I thought was fun. Like, yeah. But anyway, so Garron, it'd be interesting to see what comes of it.
Yeah.
But
I think he has a bigger support base outside of politics. I think he'll be fine if he comes back. Like 1.7 million, that's a lot of people.
it's a lot of people.
I would say that the majority of those people aren't fucking retards on either side.
Yeah.
They just want to laugh, like he said, I just yell at cups of tea. I think that's is that like a usual thing for him? But I do remember this one specific one that I saw, the first skit of his, and it was about making a cup of tea properly, and that's just fucking Irish. And it's still going to stick with the people. Everyone that I've spoken to who isn't politically inclined are devastated what happened yesterday. And they're like, what the fuck? It can only serve to hurt the left, I think. I think he's fine. However, I'm a little worried because we have Tristan Tate here saying Garron Noone did nothing wrong.
Yeah, I know.
Do we really need that?
No. we don't. But again, it's it's the world of the fucking internet as well. So
yeah,
with the Tates, they're probably just complete cynical cunts to go, okay, this is trending. Let's jump on it, And again, with the Tates, because McGregor has been likened to the Tates. I think the Irish political establishment are calling Conor McGregor the Irish Andrew Tate, and the left has been busy with their memes, very clever, and they're calling Conor McGregor Andrew Tato because of Tato crisps. I
mean, that gave me a giggle when I first saw it, I have to say.
I know, me too, but it's obvious, and you mentioned it last week, and we don't know if it was on air or when we were chatting in private that we would do something with Andrew Tate around Andrew Tato when we were playing around with images. And so what's Conor's flavor is salt and vinegar. So I thought that was funny. Like,
yeah, it was. Yeah.
But again, there's a bit of a difference between Andrew Tate and Conor McGregor, and that's that one hasn't actually given all the evidence over that he's actually done the stuff. So Conor might be a little bit ahead in that game. But yeah, so I think with Garron, we'll just have to keep an eye out, see what about.
Wish him the best.
Yeah, but it is it is the world of the internet, so it'll probably be forgotten about in 3 days, and something else will come along to take people's attention away from it.
Before we move on, can I just say something on the very, very slim chance that Garron is hearing our voices right now? Don't let the fuckers get you down. Just do your work. You're a good musician. You're fucking funny, and you're honest and pure, and that's something important that we need in this world. So get back up on that fucking horse. Don't listen to them.
Yeah,
that's all I have to say.
Don't apologize, because I almost forgot. I have 2 nicknames ready to go for Garron, depending on which direction he goes. So if you apologize, he will be forever in my eyes known as Fagrid from Harry Potter. I have an image
all right.
of Garron. I really need to get a second screen. This is just such a pain in the tits.
Yep. For us, more than you.
Yeah. So we'll just have to wait a moment, and we'll actually find the fucking thing as well. That would be useful. All right, throw it into the browser. Yeah, it kind of kills it, doesn't it? When you have to wait 10 minutes. Like, just bear with me. I'll get to the point in one second.
Don't worry, we'll edit it out in post.
Okay, so there. So Garron will be known as Faggot if he apologizes. If he doesn't apologize, and he just gets on with it, or just comes out and doubles down, well, then I am going to have to christen him as John Milchon. Now, for anybody who doesn't have Irish, Milchon is the Irish word for sweets. And that's a play on the famous Canadian comedian John Candy. Now, you probably wouldn't know that's John Candy, depending on your age, but that's John Candy from the very famous movie Trains, Planes, and Automobiles and Uncle Buck. But a beloved figure. And every movement, no matter what it is, needs a big, fat, funny fucker attached to it. So we just hope Garron makes the right decision and doesn't go to either fucking side. He just continues to be himself. And now he can be a bit freer to say what he actually thinks, because it can't get any worse than being called a Nazi and have people call for your banishment from the planet, because you said something very mild and something that everybody knows to be true and everybody is talking about anyway. And the only people who can't bring themselves to talk about it are, I don't know what to classify them as, retards, psychopaths, lost, cult members, probably all of the above, because anyone with, the slightest bit of reason can't but help to come to the conclusion, yeah, well, you know what? There is a problem with immigration into Ireland. Does it mean I want to, get them out? No, not necessarily. But can we at least agree that the government are, failing the people of Ireland and the immigrants? Yes. That seems a pretty safe bet and a mild position to take. If you disagree with that, well, then you're essentially lost. In my eyes, there's not a lot that can be done to save you, All right. So, Garron, make the right decision. I hope it's John Milchon and not Faggot, even though Faggot has a better ring to it.
I really do think he must be descendant from the giants of ancient antiquity Ireland,
Maybe.
Yeah, he's a big fella.
Yeah, he's a big boy, and suffers from anxiety. So, it can't be difficult. But then, why the fuck you would choose to put yourself in front of 1.7 million people? But
it's
I don't know.
Way of dealing with the anxiety.
Maybe it would just make me all the more fucking anxious. But yeah, we hope he's okay, because on a human level, to have a pack of dogs on you is fucking terrible. And then the only people who seem to be showing you true support are people that you probably want no truck with either.
Yeah.
It's a horrible situation to be in. Like, oh, well, do I take the help that these people who I don't like and really probably wouldn't talk to? And I just think his natural affinity would be with, people to the left of center, which is most people, I'd imagine. And they've, the extremists on that side have turned on him, so yeah, let's hope and pray Garrett is all right. And he's not overeating, because this could be situation could be
disaster,
a trigger.
Really, yeah.
Yeah, I'd say he's sitting in Mayo now and he's just hoofing tubs of ice cream, like crying. I'm hoping it will all go away. Yeah. All right. Okay, let's put Garron to bed.